So this is another follow-up. I know I've done several follow-ups and it's Christmas Eve. I had plans to go to my sister's, but I said earlier I have this cold. My nose is running like a faucet. And there was going to be a lot of older people, so I didn't want to ruin people's Christmas by my nose running all over everybody. So I've just been at home and, well, doing research. So anyway, this is a follow-up to The Matrix, the movie, and what the human pods really are. So I said how these human pods, okay, and that's what's in the movie The Matrix, there's humans in there. Because anybody who's seen The Matrix, you know that the machine uses humans as batteries, okay? What I'm trying to say, and I don't know that anybody else has said this, because the movie doesn't say this, it'll make sense in a minute. This is the mitochondria of the cell. In every cell you have mitochondria. It is the powerhouse of the cell. It looks like the mitochondria. Here's why. This is the mitochondria. You see? It looks like the pod. Okay? It has a matrix, as you can see up there. It has a matrix. But this is the powerhouse. This is what gives life. I mean, it's the energy of everything. So just going back to the basic anatomy or biology, people remember, okay, this is a human cell. You see the pink things that look like peanuts? There's two of them in the membrane area here. The two pink peanuts. That's mitochondria. And the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Okay? It's the most important part of the cell. That's what I was taught. And the reason that it's the most important part is because it produces cell's ATP, which is the energy currency of the cell. The way it does this is it converts glucose and other nutrients into ATP. So just think about that. Glucose is a big one it uses. We have this increased diabetes problem. And we have this obesity problem more and more over time. People say, oh, it's diet or it's the food. No, I just wonder, because you mess with, if somebody starts messing around, and I'm not saying it's true, I'm just something to think about. You mess with the ATP of cells or certain cells, then you could cause a lot of havoc. So, but I don't want to get off on that. That's just a theory of mine. My point is, this looks like it's obviously, in your body, the mitochondria is the battery for your body to operate. This is a neuron, okay? They're located in your brain. That's mainly where they're located, and the spinal cord, okay? This is one neuron. You see the axon terminals below, the red, like it looks like vines with, little red dots at the end. Those are the axon terminals that connect to the next neuron that would connect up here somewhere, and that's how it sends its signal. But in order for it to send its signal to the next neuron, okay, this is one neuron, it's connecting to the other one. In order to do this process, it needs to have a mitochondria. And as you can see right here where my finger is, looks like a peanut. That's the mitochondria in the cell of the neuron. And it needs that so it has the energy to send the signals across the axon and to the next neuron. These neurons connect to a whole bunch of different neurons. I mean, this is just showing two, but see all the different I hate to say vines, fibers, I guess, fibers. Those all can connect and communicate and send signals, and in order to do any of that, they need the mitochondria, so each one has a mitochondria. This is under a microscope, obviously, of human tissue from the hippocampus, which is in the brain, which is where most of your neurons are. This is just another picture. They're called Purkinje fibers, but still, it's all part of the neuron. Okay, you see the network it's creating. Okay, that's what I'm trying to point out too here. This is filaments in a mouse cortical neuron in culture. So you could see how it connects or... All right, so I'm trying to point that out along with showing that none of that process is possible without the pod of mitochondria. Well, artificial neural networks are neurons, but AI's neurons. And you can see why. See the picture, how they always present is this, there's the chip of AI, and then you see the different neurons. That's what they represent. Okay? This is like a human, though, a human's neurons connected to a machine. Oh, what do the transhumanists want? Everybody connected to a machine. What is in the Matrix, the movie? They connect to a machine. That machine uses all these pods. See the mitochondria? That's what they all are. And in the movie, those are humans in them. You see what it's connected to, a machine. And these are different. See how they're all the orange, all the things that look like salt lamps? That's all connected to the machine because there's humans in those. So that's the all mitochondria is what I'm saying. Serve the mitochondria, the energy of the human cells serving the machine. What else are you told in the Matrix? You're told the screen, it's just code. They don't pay any attention to it. It's just code. Right. Very much like what AI is all about in Silicon Valley, coding. And they've been coding their new God, which is AI. We should not be forced to accept Silicon Valley's God, because in my opinion, that's what it is. It will not be smarter than you because the people that have programmed it do not have empathy. You would have a hard time. It's hard enough just to teach humans empathy. It's one of those wisdom things that only God gives. It really is, or over time through experience. But Silicon Valley lacks this, which is why AI will fail. But they'll tell you because they will want to convince everybody, no, it knows everything. It knows what's best. It knows better than any human, so everybody has to follow it. No, we should not have their Silicon Valley's God forced on us. This is a religion. But what's even more interesting is, now this is from science, this is an example of a neural network, okay? So it's neurons connected to other neurons, okay? Get a good look at that. From the movie The Matrix Revolutions, neural networks, neural networks, neural networks. All being served by all of those mitochondria or pods using the human being's powerhouse of the mitochondria of the cell. So this is all an artificial network. And you see, it just looks like the AI symbol too here. But what they all are is neurons. Because they want to create an art. This is what man does all the time too. It's the trap of man's going to create man in his own image. Like we were all created in God's image. But this is man trying to create its own desire for whatever in its own image. And it will fail miserably. It will fail miserably. But this is how much they're going to convince you. I mean, this concept is ridiculous. And yet it so is parallel to the Matrix. Now, I'm not saying they're going to put people in pods. What I am saying is that's why they've wanted to convince people of the transhumanism path. Even though they don't call it transhumanism, that's what it is. Transhumanism is merging machine with human. Okay? So that's what the reason they want to do that is then they can use your powerhouse, which again, this is the mitochondria. You see it there under a microscope, okay? This is the powerhouse of your cell that God gave you. This is your battery. That's what Silicon Valley want. That's the reason for the transhumanism. They want to take your energy to feed their AI God. Because ultimately, they need not only the regular things they need for energy, for their machine part, in order for it to function the way they want it to, like a God that knows all things, they need to have human ATP, which is what the mitochondria produces to make everything function. It is the energy, the battery of human beings, is the mitochondria. We should not be forced to accept Silicon Valley's false God, because that's what it is. That's why they want to merge humans and machines, is to steal your energy source that God gave you.